Hi, em xin chào. Hello, everybody. Today is September the 19th, and we're gonna tell a pen story as always. I don't know whether today is actually pretty nice again. It's very sunny as usual, but the morning with the breezing is really good. I actually get up not quite early to be honest. I normally get up like around 5 o'clock to run, but recently I have been get up around 6 something. But still I really enjoy the weather. And the thing is that I get up like at 6 something earlier than my normal routine for preparing to get to work. So I get the time to enjoy the morning walk instead of rushing to get the bus, and it's actually really nice. So just a few highlight thing of the day for you all before we start with the pen story, okay? So what is this? It's a pen. What do we use the pen for? To write. Now there is a dog inside the room. I'm gonna read this in front of the dog. What does the dog do? The dog probably will sleep, lick or chew the treat. Does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So for the dog, this one is not a pen, but for the human, this one is a pen. So who is correct? The dog or the human? The answer is both are correct. For the dog, this one is a chewing toy, and for the human, this one is a pen to write. The dog is correct in the dog world, and the human is also correct in the human world. So that is our first lesson. Both are correct. Now, let's imagine that there is a table in front of me, so I'm going to put this thing on the table. And then both the dog and I will walk out the room. So inside the room, there'll be no human, no dog. What does this thing become? It is still a pen or chewing toy. Or it becomes almost nothing, and the ancient wisdom called this one as the emptiness. The emptiness is actually a very magical definition. As we understand the emptiness, we be able to achieve anything in our life. Just like Isshu Guru brought the emptiness into his business and was able to build a business with revenue $250 million a year. He's also able to help several refugees. So why is the emptiness? Why is that so magical? So let's go back to the pen story, okay? So this thing is currently on the table when there's no human, no dog, or nothing to interact with. That is, it come back to true self and we call it the emptiness. But because it's has the emptiness, actually because it has the emptiness, and then it's all it also has the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at this at the very moment. And I will point this point out for you, okay? So for instance, this thing, as I come back to the room and I look at this becomes a pen. When the dog come back to the room and the dog look at this becomes a chewing toy. And when both the dog and I come back to the room at the very same time, and we both look at this at the very same time, what does this thing become? It becomes two things, a pen for me and a chewing toy for the dog. So a single thing, okay? When there's nothing to interact with, it comes back to true self. We call it the emptiness. So the emptiness is what we truly are when we don't interact with anyone or anything. We just by there by ourselves, okay? So that's the emptiness. But then because happy emptiness also has the potential to become anything or anyone, depending on who or what is looking at us. And that is the second lesson. Along with the emptiness, we all have this potential. Now I see this as a pen. So does this pen coming from me or does this pen coming from the thing itself? This pen actually coming from me. Why am I so certain? Because if this thing is a pen, then the dog or anything in this entire universe will have to see it for what it is, which is a pen. But does the dog see this one as a pen? No. So this pen is actually coming from me. This pen is actually coming from my mind. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So that is our third lesson. Everything is actually coming from our mind. So we all agree that this pen is coming from my mind, right? So I'm going to change my mind and I'm going to believe this one become a diamond, okay? So please pray with me. Diamond, diamond, diamond. Open my eyes. It's still a pen. So what in my mind that forced me to see this as a diamond but not a pen? Or as a pen but not a diamond? They all say it inside our mind that the ancient wisdom call as karma. When we see something, the seed inside our mind pop up, open up and cover this and made me see it for what had been planted only into my mind. So who planted those seeds into my mind then? Only I can plant the seed into my mind, and only you can plant the seed into your mind. How can we do it? We do it by three ways: by our word, by our action, by our thought, especially toward other people. So for instance, I'm gonna hold on to this. I'm gonna say that I have a pen. Would you like to have this pen? And when my friend say yes, please, I'd be so happy to give this to my friend with the hope that I can help my friend. So when I eat this, this palm will open up, right? And both me and my friend will see it. It's starting to mark in my mind. A couple days later, when I see this, I recognize this one as a pen, which means that the seed of the pen has now been planted into my mind. And I power open up and cover this and made me see it for what had been planted only into my mind, which is a pen. And this is how a pen become a pen. Anything surrounded us become what and who they are to us. In the pen story, there are several meaningful lessons. Today, we went over 4 different lessons. The first lesson is both correct. So we learn to respect each other's opinion, we learn to respect each other's choices, and we learn to listen to each other with a compassionate heart. And it's very important for us to know that, why you really it's important for you to acknowledge other people opinion, acknowledge other people choices. We have to first acknowledge ourselves first. What do I mean by that? So first we have to learn how to listen to our true self, how to understand ourselves, be compassionate with ourselves and respect ourselves, our decision. We learn to become the anchor, the peace place, the heaven for us, for ourselves. So we become where we become an anchor, a place of happiness, a place of peace for ourselves. So when we can come back to find peace, we can come back to find happiness within ourselves before we be able to spread that to other people. So it's very important before you can do anything to anyone. Remember, you have to do it for yourself first, okay? And the second lesson is that, along with the emptiness, we all have this potential. So we learn to, trust our potential, trust the potential of everyone of who surround us, and trust the potential of whatever happened to us. And in order to see all the potential, the beautiful potential between us, in us, or in anyone, first, is we have to see what we have to see, acknowledge, and accept what we truly are first, without anyone, without interacting with anyone, which is the emptiness. And we will do able to do that when we understand ourselves, when we respect ourselves, and when we love ourselves. So that is how the lesson 2 is built on lesson number 1. But once you be able to see and accept your emptiness, your true value, then you be able to see what you truly can be, what you can be, and we can work toward that very potential, and we can help other people the very same way as well. And the third lesson is everything is actually coming from the seed inside us. So we be 100% responsible to whatever happened to us. We don't blame anyone because in the end, we are the only one who can plant the seed into it. And with that, we know that, whatever potential that we see, whatever the potential that we see, we can go toward that potential. We can work toward that. We have the capability and we are in charge of our life, not anyone else. So no blame, but also the positivity as well as the activeness, the proactiveness of us coming to our true life, living our life. And the fourth lesson is how to incorporate all 4 lessons, all 3 lessons into our life and to achieve our dream life in a very certain way. So the first one is that we have to know what we want to achieve in our dream life first, using our word of. So we using the lesson number 2. And then with lesson number 3, we start planting those seeds using our word of action and thoughts from other people. So for instance, if we want to have a happiness, then we're going to use our word of action and thoughts with other people, helping other people to be happier If we want to have prosperity, then we use our word or action or thought, helping other people to be more prosperous. And if we want to have, health, then we start using our word or action or thought, helping other people to be healthier. And just like that, whenever that you want, making sure that you use your word, your action, your thought, helping other people to get that. And that is the very safe way for you to plant the seed into your mind and to ensure that one of these days you'll be able to harvest that. But very important things is that karma is the law of nature. But when karma happen, we don't know. We only know that we can reap what you sow. So be very mindful of what you talk to other people, what you think about other people, and what you act toward other people. And the lesson that I would like to share with you all today is I think it's about the lesson of the potential. So this morning when I came to the bus, actually our bus is the first stop, but then there's already a lot of people on the bus already, in the bus already, and I don't have a space, I don't have a seat. So I've been standing for almost half of the way, and I decided that instead of, just sitting, I actually doing some kind of exercise, just kind of moving my body back and forth. I'm doing this and that with my calf muscle and my heels. And I actually really enjoyed it. So, instead, so that like you can see that okay, once I accept the fact that okay, there's no sit for me. And I look into the potential of taking that time to do something to move my body rather than just sit and actually thinking about what to do with it, and I enjoyed it. And that is the potential. So anything, basically in how you take it, how to interpret it, and then what you choose to do with it will will actually, dictate what it means to you. So that's the lesson that I would like to share with you all today. Thank you everyone for listening to me. Thank you, Anna, for accompanying me in this 3,000-day journey. And if by me share with you the page story of my lesson is something good, I would like to dedicate that to my church family, to my friends, to my co-workers, to my clients, or to any living things in this world and in other words with love, wisdom, and gratitude. Thank you so much for listening to me today, and have a beautiful day. Bye bye, everyone.